What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Johnny Talk Sports. I've just awoken from a nap and I turn on the TV and the breaking news comes out. Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott has been suspended for 6 games. So today I'm going to give my reaction to it. So we all kind of knew going into Friday that we could end up hearing the verdict on whether Zeke will be suspended or not. So a lot of us went to bed last night thinking that was going to be the mentality. I did. That's why I took a nap. So, this suspension affects so many things. It affects the Cowboys. It's probably going to affect the NFC East. It affects fantasy football. And we're going to get to all of that. But Zeke Elliott has been in a lot of controversy ever since he declared for the NFL draft. I mean, his ex-girlfriend accused him of the domestic violence incident, even though there were witnesses that said that he didn't even do it. And plus, he was at a party on, like, St. Patrick's Day or something. I believe that's what it was. And he had the incident there. And then I believe it was about a month and a half ago, where he was arrested in that bar fight, which witnesses said that it wasn't even Zeke that threw the punch. So I'm not sure what kind of evidence the NFL is really providing with this. I'm honestly all in on the fact that the NFL is just kind of a corrupt organization anyway. Kind of like all of these sports are all corrupt anyway. The NCAA is corrupt. The NFL is corrupt. NBA is corrupt. Everything's almost corrupt in sports. Because sports are just a business. It's a business of entertainment. Almost like reality TV. It's all just business. So how is this going to affect the Cowboys? The Cowboys for the first 6 games of the season. If Zeke can't, he has the right for an appeal. But the appeal will have to be heard within 10 days of his request to appeal. So I'm almost sure he's going to appeal since the 6 games. I think it was only 2 he wouldn't have really tried to appeal. But the best case scenario for the Cowboys and Cowboys fans is that Zeke gets the appeal and it's reduced to 4. Because honestly, if you look at the Cowboys' schedule, the Cowboys were going to be in a world of hurt, in my opinion, if Zeke serves the full 6-game suspension instead of getting it reduced down to 3 or 4. Because week 1 they go up against the Giants, and the Giants have had the Cowboys' number. They had their number last year. Week 2 on the road against the Broncos, probably one of the best defenses in the NFL. Week 3 on the road at the Cardinals. Week 4 versus the Rams. I'll give them that win there automatically. Week 5 at home against the Packers. And then week 6 on the road against the 49ers. So if you're going to base on last year's probability of this, if Zeke serves the 6-game suspension in full without an appeal, the Cowboys probably start either 2-4 or 3-3, depending on what happens with on the road against the Broncos week 2. Because I'm not going to know if the Broncos are going to beat the Cowboys, or the Cowboys have a chance against the Broncos until we actually get to that point. So right now, off the bat, without seeing anything play out, I would see the Cowboys starting off 2-4 or 3-3. It's going to affect the NFC East. Considering if the Giants could beat the Cowboys again in week 1 this year. That'll give them an early advantage in the NFC East. It doesn't affect the NFC East as much. But what if the Cowboys just completely flop and they go 2-4 like I'm saying they might? Or 3-3. Then it gives the Giants and Eagles some leverage in the NFC East. The Redskins I'm not including in this because if Zeke serves the full 6-game suspension, he'll be back in time for that matchup against the Redskins, the first match against the Redskins. Anyway, how it affects fantasy. Now, I have been holding out in my fantasy leagues for this reason and this reason only, because we had no idea what was going to go down. Honestly, when people were thinking, oh, he's going to get suspended, I honestly knew they were going to hold it out for a little bit longer. I had that mentality in my mind to not do any fantasy leagues in the month of July because was still that particular suspension to hand out. And honestly, I feel bad for people who have already done their fantasy leagues and have Zeke on their team. Because right now you're going to get 6 weeks of zero production out of Zeke Elliott. So how it's going to affect fantasy leagues? Honestly, if you have no really interest in fantasy, or if you've already done your leagues, you can just sign off You can just sign off the video right now. Subscribe. But there's still some silver lining. The Cowboys still benefit from their pretty excellent offensive line. They still benefit from that. And also, you might want to maybe put in Dak Prescott as a fantasy quarterback, at least for the first 6 weeks, because honestly, they're going to be a pass-first team now that Zeke is suspended. And plus, Dak Prescott may take care of all the rushing. Because Dak Prescott can beat you with his arm and his feet. So Dak Prescott's going to be a definite fantasy quarterback at the beginning of the season. I'm sure he's going to be a hot commodity in the majority of fantasy leagues coming up. So yes, my opponents in fantasy, you're welcome. I've been holding this out for a long time on purpose. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. Like and subscribe to this channel. Share this with your friends and family. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everybody.